Alright everybody, what is going on? We are hopping in here to a 200% level 10 Link showcase, finally here for Super BUU. He just got his 200% here on Global and JP at the same time with the release of Android 21. I think what we're going to go ahead and do is just throw him here in slot 1. Now, unfortunately, Super BUU is a character that needs to get hit, I think, what is it, 7 times? Yeah, he needs to get hit 7 times in order to fully build up. Within his first 2 rotations, because he has his intro buff that we saw get, we saw him break the timer or whatever, right? That's only active, the buff that he gets from that is only active for 4 turns, so we get an extra 120% attack and defense and 5 key from that. So if we want to see him at his best, we got to get him hit 7 times in his first couple turns here. I could float him like this, because there's quite a few attacks there at the end, but, it is what it is. We're going to leave him on rotation here. We got a good rotation. So this is just what we're going to deal with right here. So 404k defense here to start off. He he's not guarding right here. He has a 70% chance to guard. So he could be guarding, but we don't know. That's kind of like this guy's main flaw is, for whatever reason, they gave him a great chance to guard, which is a 70% chance. I mean, that's pretty good. And they did give him, like, guaranteed guard, potentially, if you're fighting a Fused Fighter or Majin Buu Saga category enemy. It's really only relevant in one fight right now. I could see us getting more Majin Buu Saga fights in the future, but are we going to get them before this guy ages out is the question, and my bet is on no, we are not going to get those, but we will see. We will see what the future holds. We just got his 200% right, and he's okay. Like, you can take this guy into Fusion Zamasu, and he can probably surprise you a little bit. He is an AoE unit, so his 18 keys an AoE. If we were fighting 2 enemies here, it would attack both of them. But let's go ahead and see what he does. I'll go ahead and show my build. It is mostly dodge, or no, it's not dodge. It's 9 dodge, mostly additional and mostly crit. I guess whenever I was building this guy, I was just kind of like, I'm probably never going to use him, so I just kind of gave him offense. Which, I mean, this is fine. Like, 9 dodge still gives you, like, a chance to dodge, right? But hopefully you're not just dodging every single attack that you need to build him up, because I think this guy can be quite tanky once he builds up. I'm trying to remember my rationale for why I went with this build. I can't exactly remember why, but it might have been something, I mean, 24 million right here is pretty good. But it might have been something along the lines of the Int Spirit Bomb Goku, where I was kind of like, well, if I'm going to be using this guy, I'm probably, hopefully not in a situation where I'm relying on his dodge. So I, just went ahead and comfortably gave him crits and additionals. Yeah, I think this character doesn't really have a bad way to build him. A lot of people will tell you not to put any dodge on him because, you want to take those hits to build up. But it's like, even once he's fully built up, he's not super tanky. And he peters out after his second rotation, which isn't always bad, but you guys will see as we move throughout here. So I'm going to float this guy off right here. By the way, we will have Bulma support up for this entire fight. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and float this guy off so that we can link him in his Super BUU state with the other Super BUU. We'll have 6 out of 7 links activated and support and stuff. So we will be right back with another rotation of Super BUU. Alright, we're back here with another rotation of Super BUU. We can go ahead and see which links he has active here. So it's going to be the same 3. That's also kind of a weakness of Super BUU, is that he does generate a ton of power from his links. Majin, Metamorphosis, Infinite Regeneration are all going to give him, those 3 links give him a ton of power in terms of his defense, but not really going to see those often on really any of his teams at the moment. I mean, Android 21, once she transforms, she does have Metamorphosis, or I guess she has Metamorphosis in both forms, which is okay, but you really want Majin and Infinite Energy, or Infinite Regeneration active, right? It gives an additional 3% HP healing and 10% defense, and then Majin gives, 15% attack and defense, 2 keys, so it really is impactful, and probably the best Majin character, other than this guy at the moment, is Super BUU. Or not Super BUU, Kid BUU, who is just, like, not good enough to be run in most scenarios. You can kind of get away with him in some fights if you have type advantage, but he's, almost, 3 years old at this point? It's like or 2 years old? He's definitely aged out, though, regardless. Now, that being said, I think we do have a couple easy A's coming up maybe next year, which is going to be maybe these 3. If these 3 easy A's are good, and they don't push power creep so far beyond what Super BUU is doing, I do think that the Majin Power team could round out to something interesting with these 3 right here. So, I guess let me take that back. There is Kid BUU, But, I'm sorry, there is Super BUU, who's probably the next best Majin character, but you can't link them until he transforms, which is, what, turn 5? So it's like, I don't even care about this guy right now. But yeah, these 3 are coming up on easy A's, and this unit especially, you know, if we start looking at AGL Zamasu and how good their easy A is, this unit's very similar, 40% damage reduction, you know, they transform and they get dodge chance, right? Like, this guy has 40% damage reduction and a medium chance of dodging. Like, they give this guy defense and, like, a high chance to dodge, and suddenly this BUU's pretty good. And, I mean, you could make this guy very good very easily. He doesn't have any start-of-turn defense. You give this guy some start-of-turn defense for this stack, because he stacks defense by 50% for 3 turns. You start doing that with his 50% damage reduction. This BUU unit is a very, very intriguing EZA to me. Coming up next year, probably. We'll see what they decide to do, but this intrigues me greatly. So next year, you know, maybe around Worldwide Celebration, my prediction is that Worldwide next year will be BUU Saga. If it is, you know, be on the lookout for maybe this guy. This guy, you know, we'll see. But anyway, right here, I'm going to go ahead and throw Super BUU in slot 1. We'll keep this guy in slot 2 right here. By the way, what do you guys think of this new UI where it actually, like, you know, you could always select who you were going to attack, but now it's just much more pronounced. I do like that. What I don't like is actually the status effects appearing up here. I don't like that. It just looks crowded to me. I don't really like this, so. But you guys let me know what you think about that. I mean, did you prefer... I don't know that I liked it cycling how it used to do it. I like this, like whenever you click on them and it shows you the screen. I think that this is great. I think they should just get rid of this top bar up here and just make you click on it, right? Like, that'd be much more seamless, but... Anyway, so here we go. BUU is at 520k defense, so he still needs to take, what, 6 hits to build up? We'll go ahead and grab this. Remember, he is an AoE, so he actually won't be able to sit in this fight forever like I usually do, but that's okay, right? It's fine. He probably won't be killing Rosé that quickly. So, okay, so there's hit number 3, there's hit number 4, and there he is at a 26 million attack stat with the support that we have on rotation. Remember that Int 21 does support power absorption, so she is supporting right here. There's his additional at a 10 million, and I believe he can do one more, so we'll see what he does here. But Super BUU's definitely looking really good. He does raise defense, I believe, on both super attack effects. So, again, he's looking great right here. Yeah, I mean, there we go. That was a good rotation. We got some more hits in. So, next turn, we will no longer have our intro buff up, because that's only active for 4 turns. It'll be 5 turns by the time we come back, so that'll be gone. So, we'll see how his defense has gone down. Now, you know, that's going to go away. That's a start of turn buff that's going to go away, right? So we normally only get 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. And with the intro, it goes up to 240%, right? So we're going to lose half of our start of turn stats, but we've been building up this multiplicative 140% defense every time we get hit. So we'll see how that impacts our defense next turn. All right, here we are with another rotation of Super BUU. Now remember that his intro buff is going to be gone, so our defense is at 628 still, which is pretty incredible. Now, I believe that is partially because we do have these extra defensive links active. If I take those away, right, so now we're back to the original 3 that we've been seeing throughout the showcases. Here we are back out at 581, which is, I believe, still higher or around the same level that we were last turn. But look at the massive increase that we get whenever all those links become active. You can see right here, I guess you can't see when I click on that, it says I don't like that, but you can see right here, 628, 426 is what his defense goes up to. You know, he does get some defense when, like, attacking if your HP is high. And, like, calculating this guy is not super easy, I'll be the first to tell you. Because you have to divide out any, like, let me show you guys real quick. So, like, right here, this line, this is that multiplicative part of his passive that you're building up every time he gets hit. And then right here, we have this 30% defense when HP is 90% or more when attacking. These end up adding in the same phase. So in order to calc his defense, you have to take what you see start a turn, assuming he's taken hits. You have to divide out any defense that he has from building up with hits, and then you have to multiply it back in with this included if your HP is 90% or more when attacking. And then you have to also start taking into account these 30%. So for simplicity, we're just going to take these and just kind of pretend that this doesn't exist right here. So let's just say 30% of this 628, 426 that we have is roughly what, like 200 something K, right? So he's going to be getting about 200K per additional, like, or per super attack that he does. And if he's guarding, that's definitely a really good defensive number. So, you know, again, that's why I'm kind of like eyeing this guy's EZA. I was like, ooh, you know, like if this guy's EZA is really good, we might have a unit on our hands. So I'm going to go ahead and transform with this guy. I'll just skip his animation because it's not his showcase. You know, next year, whenever he EZAs potentially, we'll show his animations then. So here we go again with Super BUU's AoE. Again, 6 out of 7 links active here. We do have support from this BUU tanks, who I believe will also probably EZA next year. We will see what they do with this guy. I might have to change up his build, right? But we'll see. So because, I mean, this guy could be good too. He heals, he has dodge, and he supports power absorption category allies. 30% attack, 50% defense. So this guy could be a very, very interesting EZA. I mean, he was good whenever he came out. So let's go ahead and grab this. And we'll grab these. And let's see what Super BUU shoots out here now that his entrance animation has worn off. Okay, very nice. I think we're like fully built up or close to it on defense now, and he still shoots out a 19 million attack stat. One thing to talk about here is Super BUU's attack buff that he gets. If you read his passive, he gets an additional 100% attack temporarily upon character's next attack after receiving an attack. So you guys may have seen it right there. That doesn't reset until he attacks. So like right here, we got hit at the beginning. Notice how we never saw it proc before he attacked, and then he attacked, and then I believe we saw it proc after Rose like hit him after he attacked. That's because it doesn't reset until he attacks. So if you get hit after he attacks, it'll reset for your next turn, which is really nice. So we will get, I guess, I mean, is there any point in doing one more rotation? I guess I can attempt to get Bulma on rotation with him, and we'll get like a Bulma active skill turn or something. But otherwise, I'm pretty satisfied with what we've seen here from Super BUU. He can be a pretty effective option in the Merge Zamasu fight. The issue is that his 200% team is the 21 team, and that's where he's going to be most effective in that fight because the extra stats really do help him quite a bit. But 21, her leader skill is not good for the Merge Zamasu fight. So I'll try to get one more rotation with Bulma. Using her active skill and everything, and that will be the last thing that we get in this video, and then we'll move into the breakdown, so bear with me, we will be right back. 21 got me killed in slot, so into the breakdown we go. Alright, this is Destructive Scattershot Strike BUU Super. His leader skill doesn't matter. His super attack is the Mystic Ball attack, raises attack and defense for one turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers defense. Like, who cares, man? Get that out of here. Quit putting this on units. No more. I'm over it. Just delete this mechanic from the game. It does nothing. I mean, it does kind of do something. You will do, like, marginal more damage. Let me just show you guys real quick. I don't know exactly how this is calculated, like, entirely, but, like, let me go to, events. Oh, my God, events. Challenge. Like, let's just pull up somebody, right? Like, down here. There we go. Fusion Zamasu. Let's pull up his defense, right? Yeah. So, like, even if this is 0, you're going to be doing 150k more damage. His HP is 50 million. So, bosses, like, along in the olden days of Dokkan, used to get their defense from defense, but now they just get it from damage reduction. So, like, lowering defense, it's like, you can make this 0. And you are doing marginal damage compared to their HP. So it really just, like, whenever people say it doesn't matter, that's what they're talking about. Like, bosses don't have defensive stats these days. I mean, they do, but it's so nothing that it doesn't matter. So his ultra super attack is the Assault Rain. Raises attack and defense for one turn. That's again a 30% raise. Causes mega colossal damage to all enemies, so it is an AoE. A medium chance to stun them. I mean, that's good for Super Battle Road, right? You could potentially walk into Super Battle Road, pop his AoE, and then you could stun all of the enemies on the field, potentially. I mean, that's really valuable, right? His passive skill, Terror of 0% Conscience. Activates entrance animation upon character's entry once only. That's his little timer. He's tired of waiting. He breaks it. He gets key 5 and 120% attack and defense at the start of turn for 4 turns. Again, from the character's entry. I don't like it's interesting that they like put that twice, but whatever. Attack and defense at 100% or 120%. So in total with his intro active, it's going to be 240%. I think personally, if they wanted to make this guy just a lot better, I'm kind of okay with his guard chance the way that it is. We talked about this a little bit already, but I'm kind of fine with his guard chance like this. I don't really have a huge issue with it. I think if his intro was for 5 turns, though, instead of 4, this guy would be just way better. Just get these extra stats for 1 more rotation would be super nice. 6 turns might be a little greedy. But yeah, 5, I think definitely I would like this guy a lot more. He would just feel better. There are so many units that just feel better with like the 5-turn intro buff than like the 3 or 4, right? Like I think of like the 23rd World Tournament Goku and the Piccolo Jr., right? Like theirs is for 5 turns, I believe, and you can feel that. Like you can float them off a couple times and they still feel good, right, whenever they come back. Whereas like this unit, Yamcha, it's like you get your 2 rotations and they just peter out. And then the 3-turn ones just feel even worse. Like Ultimate Gohan, right? Like if Ultimate Gohan had a 5-turn intro buff, he would just be way better. He wouldn't be perfect. He would still be, weak, but a 5-turn intro buff would go a long way on him. So same thing with this guy. I appreciate the 4 turns because that means that like you could float him off on his first turn, you get him back on his second turn, which would be like let's say you get him turn 1, right? You float him off, you get him again on turn 4, he would still be up with these extra stats, and then you could float him off again, and then you're not going to see him until turn 7. And right now, most fights are going to be over by then, so like you can kind of hide them in that way. That is kind of an advantage of these 4-turn ones over the 3, whereas like the 3-turn ones, if you float them off. Once they come back, it's gone. So, anyway, additional attack plus 30% when HP is 30% or more when attacking. Additional 30% attack when HP is 60% or more when attacking. Additional attack and defense plus 30% when HP is 90% or more when attacking. So, if HP is 90% or more when attacking, you will get 30, 60, 90% attack and 30% defense. That is multiplicative with these start of turn stats right here. But again, it's additive to this and this. So this guy's calcs, again, are kind of complicated just because some people think that this is separate from this, but these all add together into the same phase. So that's why this guy's just a little tricky to calc, because it's like, okay, well, this isn't going to active until he attacks. This is going to be active when he attacks, but this is active when he's hit, so you might see it start a turn already. So it's just a little bit complicated whenever you come to calculating this guy. Anyway, he has a 70% chance to guard, but he has guaranteed guard if there's a Majin Buu Saga or a Fused Fighter category enemy. He launches an additional attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack within the same turn when guard is activated. Remember that this will proc against STR enemies because that counts as guarding. So that's good. Not too many STR enemies that I can think of at the moment, but that's still a good ability to have. We love additional chances to super attack. Although it's like he already has the chance to guard in most fights. So like, why not just make this a guaranteed additional super attack instead of a high chance? But that's nitpicky. 100% attack and temporarily upon character's next attack after receiving an attack. We talked about that already a little bit, right? How it can activate, turn to turn. And then key plus 1 up to 7, plus an additional defense plus 20% up to 140 with each attack received. So that's nice. Active skills, the Revenge Death Bomber. We didn't get to see that in the video, but I have videos, or like, it's on channel somewhere, like we have clips of it. Massively raises attack, ultimate damage to the enemy, recovers 40% HP, and gives you an attack break. This is a very powerful active skill just for like the healing and the attack break. I mean, that's like all it does, but I mean, it also does damage, but this is really good. This healing that it can give you. Now, the condition is pretty rough. It's under 60% HP starting from the 5th turn. HP plus turn condition is like one of my least favorite things in the game because that just makes it super inconsistent. If it was just turn 5, it would be fantastic. If it was just under 60% HP, it would still be inconsistent, but, it'd be okay. Because if you fall below, 60% HP on turn 1, then you have Super BUU on turn 2, you can just heal back up. It kind of gives you a reset, kind of like the GT Duo, and then you could keep going. But having it be both just makes it, impossibly inconsistent. Links are Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis, Majin, Infinite Regeneration, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, all Majin Buu Saga, and pretty much, or not all Majin Buu Saga, all Majin Buu, and pretty much all villain characters are characters that you just have to link level because of character, Metamorphosis, Majin, Infinite Regeneration. We went over that in the video. Those just give too much of a powerful effect to ignore them, so you got to get this guy link leveled, otherwise, why are you even using him? These are his categories, and as we know, he only has one 200% team at the moment, which is unfortunate. He's actually on several teams, but he only has one 200%, so hopefully we see some more 200% for Super BUU in the upcoming year. That would be really nice. These are his best linking partners. As we know, it's just, basically other BUU units and, Janemba, because Janemba has, a perfect villain link set. Which, again, I say this, too, is that if a character links well with Janemba, like really well, 5 links, that means that they have a pretty good villain link set, too. I mean, Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. I mean, that's, a crazy combo. He really only has Majin and Infinite Regeneration as his, BUU links. So, yeah. But, yeah, again, I'm thinking these guys right here, they easy A next year, and they're going to be monsters. So, we'll see. We'll see what next year holds, but I am very much looking forward to this guy's easy A, but... you guys let me know what you think. He does have a farmable super attack. I believe this is from the Majin Buu Candy Mischief, Kid Buu Dokkan event is where this is from, I believe. So you can farm up his super attack if you haven't. And there he is. That's Super BUU. Again, he looks pretty good. I know I was using him a little bit in my Android 21 runs against Fusion Zamasu, and there were a couple of them where he looked pretty decent. So let me know what you guys think about him. Let me know what you think about him on his 200%. I'll catch you guys next time.